Tryndamere is the latest addition to Path of Champions. The Barbarian King's level up condition is simple. All you have to do is die. This level up condition allows you to play Tryndamere's deck with reckless abandon, and his Constellation heavily leans into this aggressive playstyle. His first star power gives you Call to Arms when you have the attack token, a card which allows you to cheat out big units from your deck early. The upgraded third star version gives you the card at the start of every round, even without the attack token, and it gives you a 2-mana discount with each passing turn you don't play it. His second star power brings this package together, allowing you to buff up every unit in your deck whenever you attack. As you've noticed, Tryndamere's playstyle focuses on aggression with very little control, so the fourth star power helps with that. The fifth star power gives you more mana, but everyone has that, so it's not all that special. Now for the main event. Tryndamere's sixth star power allows you to attack multiple times per turn. Unfortunately, as of this recording, I still don't own a Freljord Nova Crystal, so I don't have any footage of it for you. Alright, so what kind of a relic build should you go for with Tryndamere? Well, when you're just starting out and you only have those commons, you're gonna want some Cosmic Blessings, because the early levels for Tryndamere are pretty brutal, so the quicker you can get out of those early levels, the better. Up next, if you want a bit of a better chance of pulling him with Call to Arms, Chameleon's Necklace to create more copies of him is a good option. And if you want a better chance at leveling him, getting Challenger with Granduilus Blade is a good option. Moving to rare relics now, one of my favorites is the Chemtech Duplicator. This means that as long as Tryndamere is on the board, when you play Call to Arms, you're gonna pull 2 units instead of the normal 1, meaning you get way more power on the board from turn 6 and beyond. My favorite rare relic on Tryndamere is Crown Guard Inheritance. This allows you to block or even attack, die, and then you immediately get a rally because you level up with Tryndamere. So you can either immediately attack twice, or you can defend, then get the rally and attack right after defending. And last but not least for the rare relics is Troll King's Crown, which means that as long as Tryndamere is on the board, all allies will have Overwhelm instead of just the big guy. Moving on to the epic relics, unfortunately I don't have a lot of these, but the best one that I do have for Tryndamere is Beast Within. This means that even when he's not on the board, all of our units have Overwhelm, and if we have a decent amount of subtypes, they get a buff as well. Moving on to unowned relics, Disciple of Shadows allows you to play him for a bit of a discount. Now you do some damage to all of your units, but typically those are chump blockers anyway, so you don't mind taking the damage with that. Up next is Echoing Spirit, probably the best possible epic relic for Tryndamere. This creates 7 copies of Tryndamere in the deck, meaning that up to a third or even perhaps half of your deck can be Tryndamere, giving you an amazing chance at pulling him with Call to Arms every turn. Moving on, we have another incredible epic relic for Tryndamere, Portal Pals. This means that whenever Tryndamere is summoned from Call to Arms, you create 2 random 7+ cost units from hand, and they get discounted by 8. So unless you're pulling 9 or 10 or higher cost cards, they're going to be essentially free. So Portal Pals is one of the best possible options for Tryndamere. And last for the epic relics is Starforged Gauntlets. Now it is a bundle exclusive, but if you've spent a bit of money on the game as I have, perhaps you have this relic. And that additional starting mana will go a long way to helping you when you're playing Tryndamere. As for the build I run right now, I have Beast Within and Crown Guard Inheritance. And also, let me just find it quickly here, Chemtech Duplicator for that additional power when I'm playing Call to Arms with Tryndamere on the board. Now let's see what an adventure with Tryndamere could look like. In terms of beneficial powers, be on the lookout for ones that add cards to your hand like Fast Deal. Call to Arms removes a card from hand when played, so draw effects to counteract that are never a bad thing. You're also going to want powers that make your cards cheaper or give you more mana, including Dawning Age, Mana Flow, Wild Inspiration, and Sorcery. Sorcery is especially good because it removes most of the cost of your Call to Arms, making it much more likely that you're going to play it each turn. Finally, any powers that strengthen your board presence or make your deck stronger are no-brainers. These include Raiding Party, Titanic Wake, Sharing is Caring, and Feral Senses. This one is amazing for you because it allows you to choose what call to arms pulls, allowing for incredible turns like this one. Alright, when it comes time to pick your support champion as Tryndamere, what are the kind of units you should be looking out for? Well, first and foremost, big units, or champs that synergize with big units. And I can think of few better than Volibear or Kale. Both of them love when you play big units on the board, and buffed units in Kale's case, and from there they just go on and cause immense destruction. Elder Dragon is huge, he's also another good pick. You got Sejuani, Malphite, and the rest you can read there. Next up is champions that are aggressive, and Gnar fits this build perfectly. He likes it when you damage the enemy nexus, and he's also got built-in draw, so what's not to like with him? Victor is another good choice because your call to arms counts as a created card. Zed is also solid, who doesn't like Zed? You got LeBlanc, Severe, Renekton, so on and so forth. Multiple attacks, there is none better in this category than Katarina. We've also got in this category Ambessa, Garen, Quinn, Vayne, Lucian, and Samira, but she is the most work of them all. Up next, Predict Synergy, and here we have Echo and Zillion, but Echo is really the one you want here. Finally, you want champions that can help you draw additional cards, and in this category we have Neela and Twisted Fate. When you make your way to the shop, be on the lookout for cards that help progress your game plan. You're looking for cards that do one of four things: big units or cards that synergize with them, anything with built-in draw, whether it comes from the card itself or an item attached to it, cards that allow you to do extra attacks. The item Quick Strike Blade is your friend here, and if you can find it, Predict Synergy, which greatly increases the consistency of call to arms. Alright, at the end of the day, is Tryndamere good? Yes. But is he better than Ashe or Volibear? Let's compare them at various points in their constellations. At 3 stars, I think Volibear is best, followed by Tryndamere, then Ashe. At 4-star powers, Ashe can now frostbite 2 units per turn, providing her with way more control. Tryndamere gets this exact same power as well, giving him more time to get his snowball rolling. Volibear's 4th star power isn't nearly as useful. Often the vulnerable unit is immediately killed when you play a Titanic unit. So at 4 stars, I believe Ashe is best, followed by Tryndamere, then Volibear. Everyone's 5th star power is the same, so not much would change in the rankings there. But this is not the case when it comes to these champions' 6th star powers. When you unlock Ashe's Gift of Avarosa, she turns from a control deck into basically an aggro deck. Doom of All gives Volibear way more scaling, allowing those extra stacks of Sigil of the Storm not to go to waste. Finally, Tryndamere's Bloodsworn Pact turns him into a true aggro deck, giving you an additional rally whenever you play Call to Arms, and also doubling your unit stats, though that's only for 1 round. So when I finally get that Freljord Nova Crystal, who will I be spending mine on? Well, my money will be on Volibear. I recently learned that the 6th star power goes before you play the unit on the board, meaning it's much easier to kill units than I previously thought. So for that reason, and the fact that I love playing big dumb units doing big dumb damage, Volibear would get my Freljord Nova Crystal. And if you asked me to rank all of these champions side by side based on everything we've discussed so far, I think I would have to go Volibear 1, Ashe 2, and Tryndamere 3. I think the other decks are way more consistent, and for that they have my vote. If you made it this far, you're an absolute legend. Please tell me in the comments if you'd be interested in seeing an Elder Dragon guide just like this one, and be sure to subscribe for more Path of Champions content in the future, including my weekly live streams, which you can find in the Live tab. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.